My name is Tina Webster, and I'm here to share with you a little bit about my experience from a few years ago. In 2009, my son Aaron was a college student, and he came home over Labor Day weekend and was in a terrible car accident. And it was September 5th, 2009, and about 12:30 in the morning, I got a phone call. The voice on the other line said that she was a nurse from the hospital and that my son had been in a terrible accident and I needed to come to the hospital. That was probably the longest car ride of my entire life. So we finally arrived, and he was in CAT scan, and so we waited. I thought that was kind of a good sign that he was in getting a scan. So the chaplain finally came back, and the way he worded his information, he said, "So you know what's going on?" And he actually said, "Well, the doctor's not coming in. You know your son's brain dead." Well, we didn't know our son was brain dead. Finally, now it's about 5 o'clock in the morning, and the neurosurgeon walked in, and he sat down, and I said, "Where have you been? I thought you were gonna meet us here at the ambulance." And he said, "I told them at the other hospital to tell you your son was brain dead." I asked my husband if he'd go get me a candy bar or something, because I just felt like I was gonna pass out. So he walked out to the machine, and he only had a $10 bill, and it didn't take $10 bills. So there was a coffee shop right there, a wagon, and he went up there and asked the guy if he could have change. And the guy said, "Sorry, we can't make change." And Jeff said, "Okay, then look, here's your tip thing. I'm putting a 10 in here, and I'm taking 4 quarters out. My son's over there dying, and my wife's sitting there about ready to pass out. Are we even?" And he went to the machine and got a candy bar for me. People have been rude. They've abandoned me. No one's really helped me or looked out for me. So if I have the feeling that somebody wants something from me at this point, I'm not going to be very receptive. I think all of these experiences, I don't have the capability at this point to differentiate between the nurses, the chaplains, the coffee guy. To me, you're all the same. Everybody represents this awful experience. I have been abandoned because my experience, the ER doctor wouldn't talk to me, the nurses weren't helpful, everybody just was hands off because they didn't want to talk to me. It really wasn't until the organ donor people got involved that I really did feel any kind of warmth. Heather said, "I don't care about some kid across the country that needs a kidney." I remember her saying that. And she said, "Do we really have to do that? Let's just let things take their course." And I said, "Heather, we can't do that." I said, "This is what Aaron really wanted." And I knew that he was giving a gift to other people. But what I didn't know is that he was going to be giving a gift to me as well. In 2009, my sister died of cancer in May, and she was my best friend. A month later, my mom was getting a blood transfusion, and she died. And then that Labor Day, Aaron had his accident. And looking back, I can't say that anything good came from losing my mom and my sister. My sister left 2 daughters behind, and there's just nothing. For Aaron, I feel like there's a legacy. There's, in his short time, his resume, is not very long. But what he did do, he accomplished more in his 20 years by donating life to others than I have in my whole life. And he was able to give all of his organs, 2 kidneys, 2 lungs, he was an 8 organ donor. And the skin off his back went to the Little Rock Children's Unit. I got 2 letters from people who actually got tissue from his spine that helped them walk. And the corneas. They basically took about everything, ligament, bone. Aaron's liver recipient has a big tattoo, and it says, "In loving memory of my hero, Aaron Webster." And he was in the military, and he said, "God, country, and Aaron are my three heroes, the three people I live for." You know, even if he didn't, if he could have only donated one thing, and I would have never even heard from those people, to know that he was able to do that in his last moments, that will carry me the rest of my life.